have to cover Labcoin because Labcoin is down 14% in the last 24 hours. Not only is it down 14% in the last 24 hours, though, it is up 19% in the last 7 days still 670% in the last 14 days, still 889% in the last month. I made a video about this project previously when it was only at $1.80 because it was up over 1,000%. And I just wanted to talk about it because it was over 1,000% in the last 24 hours, which is absolutely crazy. And now it's since then went from $1.80 all the way up to $5.30. And even higher than that, it went all the way up to $7.50. So we're going to talk about where I think this is going, which you're definitely going to want to stick around and hear this because some people aren't going to like it. But anyways, let's talk about it. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Check out the link in the description for the best DeFi perps trading platform, Avantis Fi. If you go to Avantis Fi, you can go ahead and do up to 500x leverage. So go ahead and check out Avantis Fi. Link in the description for that. So let's talk about Lab though, because as you guys can see, Lab is it looks like it's been doing pretty good, right? 65 million in 24-hour trading volume, 409 million in market cap. We already showed the huge percentages down here. So it's been doing good. It's on Binance. Remember, it's on BNB. So remember how those scam coins come, right? Remember how they do their thing. Like a lot of the scam coins do that. Look at all the supply, 76 million supply, 1 billion total supply. Why is there so much supply not circulating? 76 million supply, but 1 billion. Yeah, there are some people waiting to unlock coins so they can dump on the holders. Now, I'm not going to go too far into that right now because we kind of talked about that in the last video. And you guys, if you have some time, you need to come through and look at the wallet distribution. And we're not going to talk about it too much again because, I've already talked about that. But 74% of all coins is held by the top 5 holders. 88% of all coins is held by the top 10 holders. 99% of all coins is held by the top 100 holders. 99.72%. So it's not even 99, it's 99.72. The whale concentration, 99.73, an extra 0.01%. It's crazy. And they have 20.7K holders. All right. Now, I'm going to talk about what you guys really want to hear. We're going to talk about the mobile app here. We're going to talk about technicals. We're going to talk about the scams that a lot of people are saying that they're involved in. We're going to talk about a lot of different things today. So really stick around to the end because there's a lot to cover with this. So we've already covered the wallet distribution, right? We've already covered the wallet distribution here. Now let's move on from the wallet distribution. I want to get straight to the technicals because I know that's kind of what people want to see. And then we'll talk about the other things. Usually I do my technical analysis at the end of the videos, but this one I feel is important. A lot of people have been asking me to remake the video for Lab, but y'all aren't members, so I couldn't go over it immediately because I had to go over videos for the members immediately. So I had to get the members videos out first. So now I'm going for all the non-members. But if you want to become a member and you want me to go over a video literally immediately, you ask for me to go over a video in the comments and I immediately go over it and make a video on it. All you got to do is join the channel and become a member. It's only $9.99 per month. All right. Now let's get straight to talking about the technicals because I had the top of the Fibonacci here all the way at the swing high, which was $3.80, right? So you take your Fibonacci from the swing high to swing low. This one has now created a new swing high, right? So now we have to go all the way up here to the previous high to fix our Fibonacci retracement, right? And our Fibonacci will then bring us up to $7.50. So we're now at $7.50 with this. And you can see the bottom of our Fibonacci is at 0.07602. And then you can come over here, 0.076. We'll have it right at that area there, or at least as close as we can get to it as possible, just to make sure that it's correct. Because if you don't do your Fibonacci's correct, your levels are not going to be correct. And that's not a good thing. You want to make sure that you get your levels correct, or at least as close as possible to being correct as you can. All right. But anyways, moving on from that, now that we got the Fibonacci set up, we're looking at how we got rejected all the way up here at 750. And now we're pulling back here. This red line right here is the 50-day simple moving average. And with the 50-day simple moving average is going to be used as a support. And we just so happen to get to that 50-day simple moving average just as we're coming back down to the support at $4.65. So we're probably going to stop there first. We've had resistance twice at that level at $4.65. We had a double top there, and then we pulled back and came right back above it. So that is important, but that's not the most important thing that you want to watch out for, right? The most important thing, there's a couple things actually. So that's one of the things that you want to watch for. Another thing that you want to watch out for is the fact that we are building somewhat of a ascending triangle. And since this is an ascending triangle, it does have the possibility to continue to break out upwards. But with everything, when you put everything together, it looks like it's going to be more likely to be bearish than bullish, right? So I do believe we're going to have a lot more bearish movement than bullish. We're starting to create a 200-day moving average down here, and it's all the way down at 50 cents, which means if we dump down to 50 cents. That's where our 200-day moving average is. So if there's a huge dump, there's a possibility we could be seeing 50 cents on this, right? I don't think people see the magnitude of that, right? It's actually crazy. And then when you look at a few other things, our percent or trend exhaustion is coming down. So we were overbought, and now we're slowly but surely trending down to the oversold area, which is down here. So it's going to slowly but surely trend down here. It's going to do all this choppy movement, but eventually it's going to get down to that oversold area. So we're going to see, we're seeing a sell-off, right? Not just going to see it, we are seeing a sell-off. And not only that, we have what we call divergence, right? So if you pull up the divergence chart, you can see here, bearish divergence is categorized as higher highs on the charts and lower highs on the MACD. I always talk about divergence, and my divergence is always right. And this is literally how I do my day trades when I'm day trading options. I use divergence literally for everything, and it's a very good metric to use. It is inaccurate sometimes, but most of the time it's good, right? So we're not doing bullish divergence because we're not making lower lows, but we are doing bearish divergence because we're making higher highs and we're making lower highs on the MACD. So higher highs on the charts, lower highs on the MACD. What do you see on the MACD? You see lower highs being created on the MACD. That's bearish divergence. Lower highs on the MACD. Now we're going to get some more selling pressure, and then we're probably going to get one more small buying pressure in, or this might be the last of the buying pressure. If we get one more smaller buying pressure in, there's a possibility that you can actually see the price trying to push back up to 750. But if this is it and the bearish divergence is complete, then you're going to see a massive crash. So either we make one more push to 750 or you get this massive crash that comes all the way down to about $1.80. That's that Fibonacci, or down to the 50-day moving average. And by the time it drops, it'll be around 50, 60 cents. And also $1.80 is still possible because that's that Fibonacci support down there that we have. Usually I like to stop at the red Fibonacci supports at the end of the Fibonacci support down there. I know there's a technical term for this one, but this is like the major support that you want to watch out for, $1.80. And then if that's broken, now you're looking out for 50 cents. So I think this is going to come soon. We do have bearish divergence, so it's going to come sooner enough, right? So the bearish divergence is going to sell off. And then we have the percent R trend exhaustion, overbought, slowly trending its way downwards. So that's going to be pretty interesting to watch. And then you have lab on the MACD. Now this is odd. This is the daily chart, which is very, very, very odd. There is so much buying pressure here. So much buying pressure. And usually when you see something like this, you don't immediately start seeing those candlesticks going down and turning into like a red selling pressure, right? Because when it's red on the MACD, that means you're getting selling. When it's green, you're getting buying. When it's light green, you're getting a pause in buying. When it's light red, you're getting a pause in selling. And the thing here is we're still in heavy buying pressure, which is why I said there is still a possibility that we could push up one more time to 750 and possibly even $12. Now, I know people are probably like, oh, that's ridiculous. It's a scam coin. I don't disagree. I think that that there are a lot of scams going on with this coin, and I actually have a lot to talk about with the scams on this coin. It's getting delisted from a bunch of exchanges as we're speaking, but I am a connoisseur of the charts. And whenever I see this, that means we have more buying pressure to go on the way down, right? We have more buying pressure to go on the daily chart. And then when you look at the 4-hour chart, we also are showing bearish divergence. So either the bearish divergence has one more kick in for buying pressure, which would be right around this area, or the bearish divergence is completely done with the buying pressure and we just see massive selling pressure coming in. So again, we might have the potential to push back to 750, or we're going to have a massive crash down to 180. And then once we break 180, we're looking towards 50 to be around that 200-day moving average, right? So that's pretty much what I'm looking for here. I'd be extremely careful with this project. And now we're going to talk about the fundamentals of why you want to be careful with this. And also remember what I said. Look, we're bouncing off the 50-day moving average here, the 50-day simple moving average. Looks like we're about to switch back into buying pressure right here. Like I said, there's a possibility we can have another push up. So, don't just think that I'm saying, oh, we're going to dump right now. Like, no. Like, if I would have said that when I first made the video at $1.80, y'all would have missed a whole run. And look, when I made that video, I was like, I think that this is kind of done. I think that it's exhausted, it's pump, it's exhausted, it's breakout. That's what I said when I first made that video. And it kind of did. It exhausted its breakout and then it dumped. So I was right. And then after it dumped, it continued on an uptrend and it kept going upwards, right? So it kept going upwards after I called it and was like, hey, it's going to dump. And then it did, and it kept going up. So I think that we could have a little bit more of an uptrend right now. And this project has proven that it can do that regardless of what's going on fundamentally with the project. Now, let's talk about what's going on fundamentally with the project. So they just created the Lab mobile app. So the Lab mobile app is a trading app. As you can see, trading, this is what they're saying about it. Meet the Lab mobile app. Trading is changing. It's faster, more social, more connected than the tools have ever admitted. We built the one that catches up, built for how we actually trade, built for who we actually trade with, built for the people who've been here the whole time. The whole experience in your pocket in one tap. So this is them marketing their app. And if you look at it, it's on Google Play, so it's a legit app. They have it on Google Play. I believe they have it on Apple as well. On iOS, no iOS version coming soon. That's what they're saying. But they do have it on Google Play, which is actually pretty big. The fact that they were able to get their app on Google Play is pretty big. All right. So they got their app out, and their app they're really promoting it well. They're putting a lot of posts about the app out, and they're really just big upping it and promoting it well. But there's a lot of controversy inside of Lab. So this is coming from someone in Lab. They say Lab's biggest dump is coming. I opened a heavy short on Lab and waiting for the momentum shift. Lab is currently experiencing some volatility, but there's a good chance we might see a solid dip coming up. So everyone should be prepared. You might even consider taking a small position to avoid missing out on the generational opportunity. Do y'all think it will keep dropping, or is it going to hold steady? And this is what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to just immediately go into shorting this, because if it does go up again and hit 750 again, then you're getting liquidated. All right, you're getting liquidated. You don't want to just do this. But I do think that he's right, and that Lab is going to dump hard. It's just the real question is when. When is Lab going to dump hard, right? I do believe that it will dump hard, though. And then this person says, just realized Lab pumped again, and my vesting tokens are now worth 140K. 3 months more till my life changes. So if you have people who have vested tokens and it's worth 140K now, you don't think that they're ready to dump? And if it goes up again, you don't think they're going to be ready to dump again? Like, this is huge. And just a few days ago, 3 days ago to be exact, they had 106,000. Now they're at 140,000. There's a lot of people with tokens that are waiting to dump. There's a lot of people with vested tokens waiting to dump. There are a lot of people with locked tokens that are waiting to dump. That's why the supply says 76 million in circulating supply. But the total supply is 1 billion, because there's a lot of coins waiting to be dumped onto the market. And this is going to be a huge dump, just like how Rave was, right? Just like how Siren was. Now, they got an actual product, an actual app that you could trade on in the App Store. But just because they have that doesn't mean there's not people waiting to dump. Maybe the developers are actually developing this project and they're actually trying to make it succeed. But What about the people that got in before everything launched, right? What about the people that got in on the pre-launch? What about the people that have coins vested? What about the people that have all these coins locked away that are just waiting to dump because they got in at the very beginning? Those people are waiting to dump on people. This is coming from another person. He says, in case you're wondering why centralized exchanges aren't stopping the massive and painfully obvious scam pump and dump of Lab, OKX, Gate, KuCoin, Marana venture arm of Bybit, GSR as their market maker, they're all part of it. They're sitting on 323x of their early investment right now. And this is what I'm saying. Like, it's not just people, exchanges got in early too. Everybody's waiting to dump. So they have every incentive to look the other way, or worse, to actively contribute. These are the institutions that should be leading the industry forward. Instead, they're squeezing it dry every single day and wondering why there's nothing left to grow. So, yeah, I do believe that some of the exchanges are waiting to dump on people too. So we'll see what happens there. And actually, Blowfin is delisting Lab, but they're delisting the USDT margined perps contracts. So they're getting rid of margined perps contracts for Lab. So that's a signal. That's a signal. Why are they getting rid of it? Why are they getting rid of it? Because they see something wrong with Lab. They see that the prices are being manipulated. They see that people are waiting to dump it. And they know once that happens, if they have perps opened, margined perps opened on Lab, and a bunch of people get liquidated through a scam pumping them, that's going to hurt their credibility. And Blowfin made the decision to not hurt their credibility and to get rid of Lab for margin trading, because those are going to be the people that get burned the most. People who try to do some margined perps contracts, they're going to get burned the most when this thing dumps. All right. And then you have this guy that's notorious for calling out scams, Zach XBT. He says, how about the fact that there's zero transparency about the Lab market manipulation agreement your team is running while your founder is currently deleting old posts and ignoring my DMs? So yeah, that's a crazy statement. It says, we've all seen tokens like this. I believe that once they pump and you were late, then you can probably have a short bias on them. Typically, new coins experience at least one significant pump. This means that recently a launched coin that hasn't pumped yet might offer a good risk/reward on the other side. Once the coin pumps, it either becomes a good short if you don't have faith in it, blah, 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 blah. And then they start talking about the post that, he's not responding to. He's ignoring all his messages. Why does your team choose to engage in market manipulation and hurt the credibility of markets while rinsing funds from retail traders? So yeah, this guy, he's always exposing people. This was the exposed that he did before. If you want to go and look at all these transactions, he's pretty much showing transactions between the team and how the team is dumping on people. So price manipulation now happens almost every week, with Lab buy Lab trade becoming the latest pump and dump, while BitGet continues playing the usual centralized exchange role. The Lab team, this guy, it looks like he's Russian, Vova Sadikov, something like that, appears to control a significant portion of the supply. Wallets linked to the team still hold a large allocation, and these are all the wallets linked to the team, which is a lot of them. So the team is waiting to dump, and he's showing the receipts, he's showing the wallets, and I did the research, and I've already looked at all these wallets, and he's telling the truth. He's not lying. When you look at these wallets, they are all connected, and they hold all the coins. Remember what I said before. The top 100 wallets own 99.73% of the coins. The top 20 wallets own like 80% plus. The top 10 wallets own like 77%. So all these wallets own almost all the coins. You gotta be very careful with this. I'm not gonna lie, I do believe this is gonna dump on a lot of people's heads. Now, this is another person talking. He said Rafe pumped to $28. Now it's at 67 cents, down from 97% from all-time high. Zach XBT, which is the guy that we were just talking about that is showing all the wallet addresses and how he's exposing them. He exposed insider manipulation, 90% supply controlled by team wallets. And he did that for Rave, and then Rave dumped because they're like, oh, we're caught. I also exposed Rave. I did a video on Rave that did pretty well. And I think a lot of people got out before it dumped. So that's good. But yeah, Rave did the same thing. And yeah, Lab pumped 3,700% from launch, still at $5.28, up 878% in 30 days. Zach XBT flagged insider wallets moving $63 million before the pump. 95% supply held by insiders. Yeah. And see, what they do is they take it from the dev wallet and they send to, they pretty much do wash trading. This is called wash trading. They wash their transactions to hide them so that people don't know that it's really them that owns the coins. So they will take $63 million, and then they will send it to a bunch of wallets. They all have 100 wallets, and they'll send it to a bunch of wallets. So when it says that the top 100 wallets own 99.73%, just know that most of those wallets are held by insiders. Insiders hold almost all of this coin. They don't care about anything else because they know as more people come in, they can just dump on people and they're going to make a lot of money. So this is happening in real time. So we got to be careful with it. Again, I'm going to keep you guys updated on this. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Shout out to the people that recommended me to go over this video. Again, I couldn't do it immediately because y'all aren't members of the channel, and I had to go over the members request first. It's only $9.99 to become a member of the channel. Just click that join button and become a member of the channel. And then ask me on any comment in any video, and be like, hey, Marcellus, go over this, go over that. You can go ahead and comment on a Bitcoin video and tell me to go over Ethereum, tell me to go over Solana, and I'll literally go over it immediately. You just have to become a member of the channel. And if you're not a member of the channel, then it's going to be a little while, but I'll eventually get to it, just like this video. So shout out to you guys. Check out AdvantageSci, link in the description, up to 500x perps trading. Very nice platform. And as always, I'll be back with another video.